Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. I am finally going to get my layout done for Mel's 1,000 subscriber hop. I have been waiting to do this for a month nearly. She deserves this. It is amazing that she has hit 1,000 subscribers, and she will hit many more, many more, because she's so much fun to watch. She is one of my favorites. I feel like we are friends, even though, we live thousands of miles apart. She lives in Tasmania. If you do not watch, it's called Mel W Scrapping. If you do not watch her, you're missing out on some fun. I don't know how long, I've been watching her, I think from pretty much the very beginning of her scrapbooking, but she loves mixed media. And I can remember when she first started doing mixed media, and she was kind of scared of it, but she just loved it. And so she wanted to do it. And now she's just literally a pro at it. So in honor of Mel, I'm going to do a little bit of mixed media. She told us to do what we enjoy, just do what we love. Well, what I really love are die cuts. I've got a bunch of die cuts. I love die cuts. So that's going to kind of be the main thing that I do today. But I am going to do some mixed media in honor of Mel. So I don't really know. I don't want to lay this on there. I'm just going to guess where this needs to go. And this is not, I really didn't, I have it laid out the way I think I'm going to do it, but I didn't really just plan it, to be real honest about it. So I'm going to put some mixed media on here, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, I'll just not put this video up and do a different one. But I think it'll be okay. I want it to come down on where I'm going to put that drink. So I think I'm going to do that. And I don't know how I got some right there, but it's just going to have to be okay. And let's do another one coming right. I want it shorter, coming right out of there. Let's try that. Like I said, I should have laid this out and decided where I needed my mixed media, but I didn't. So all right, so I've got that. Excuse me. And I think I want to do just a little right up here. I love this stencil. I use it a lot. It's probably my favorite stencil because I like to use leaves and vines and things like that. So, okay, there is a little bit of mixed media in honor of Mel, and then I'm going to do a little bit more because I think I'm going to do some let me get this out of the way. I think I'm going to do some splatters if I can get a color that I like. So because this is Mowed Lawn, and it's just not quite dark enough. And other than my Christmas green, it's the darkest one I have. So I'm going to use some of this close to my heart, and it is, what is it? Ponderosa Pine. And I'm going to see if I can mix these two and get a little bit darker color. Get a little more over there. Let's see what kind of mess I make. Mel's way better at mixed media than I am, I'll just tell you. But I like it, and I use it I don't use it as much as Mel does. Okay, so I'm going to just try to mix this. And I need a scrap of paper. I'm going to try it before I do it. Ooh. Yep, I think that'll work. Okay. I don't want much. I just want a little right around this, where that little cocktail is going to go. And maybe a little right up here. Okay, I think that's all we're going to do. I made a really good mess with it, which is not unusual for me. Let's see if I can get that cleaned up before it sits on my desk. I've got a paper towel. There, maybe that'll keep my desk from getting stained. Actually, it's kind of hard to stain this. All right, let me get this little mess cleaned up, and then we will move on, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. All right, so I've got my little dab of mixed media that I'm going to do. And let's see, I want to make sure that I don't have anything on my mat either. Okay, now then, I am going to put this on here. I'm doing some pictures from Mother's Day 2023, and we do Mother's Day different ways, different times. We don't have a set way we do Mother's Day, but this particular Mother's Day, we went to my daughter's mother-in-law's, and we had a crawfish boil. The boys, my son-in-law and his brothers, he has 2 brothers, and my son cooked everything, and it was great. It was fun, and it was great. It rained. They had a tent up outside where they were cooking, and then we did everything in their garage, in my daughter's mother-in-law and father-in-law's garage. And then that's where we ate. They had it all cleaned out, and that's where we ate. And then, but they cooked out under this canopy thing. So it rained, but it was okay. Now, I mean, the picture of me, I'm like, I've been drenched, like getting from the car to the house, because there were so many cars and it was a long ways. So I'm drenched, but as far as like while we were eating and all that kind of stuff, it was perfectly fine. And then, of course, their garage leads into their house, so you can get into the restrooms and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, it was a great day, and the guys did a fantastic job cooking the crawfish and the things that went with it. Kind of got some tape on there. Let's see if I've got my tape eraser here somewhere. There it is. There we go. But anyway, I'll show you the pictures in just one second. There's a couple I'm not going to use. I'm going to do another page, an adjoining page to this one. But here we are serving ourselves with all the crawfish and all that kind of stuff. There's my son-in-law and one of his brothers eating. There's one of my grandsons with the crawfish. There's another one of them loading up his plate. I think he ate, I don't know how many pounds he ate, but it was a lot of fun, and it was really good. And then these are the pictures. Oh, here's just a picture of the everything that they just poured out from the big pots, but it was good. And this is the picture that I'm gonna, or the two pictures I'm gonna scrap today. Like I said, I look like a kind of a a wet rat, but here, this is my daughter-in-law. This is her mother-in-law's granddaughter, and then this is a girl that my son-in-law's youngest brother is going to marry. They're engaged. So I am going to do something. I think I want a little of that green over here. I'll trim this up so that it's all the same when I get it all done. But I think I want it over there like that. And then, so let's get that down. We're just going to have to figure this out kind of as we go, because I did, like I said, I didn't get it totally laid out. I think I'm going to put just a little glue on these right here, because it's got a little bit of texture to it, and I want to be sure that it sticks. So back to Mel. Like I said, if you do not watch Mel, you are missing. I love to hear her talk. Like I said, she's from Tasmania, Australia, and I just love to hear her talk. But she scraps her daughter, a lot of pictures of her daughter, and her husband some, and herself, but mostly her daughter. And so you just feel like you get to know her and the whole, and her family. And she taught, of course, you know, it's always the opposite season there. And so that's kind of fun. I think that's not exactly straight, but we're going to leave it. And it's just, she's just a joy. And she is such an asset to this scrapbooking community. I needed that over a little further. Is what I needed. I guess I could do another one. Let's just do another one right over like that while we're here. See if I'd have, I may not even have to. Yeah, I think there's plenty of ink on that. Okay, let's try that, see if that works a little better. Yes, so that it's coming out from under there, because I'm going to use, this is from a swap. I'm using a couple of things from a swap. And Andrea Connor, I believe, is the name on here. And I got this in a swap from Ginger's Corner, and it was the little salty, and then it was the little margarita glass, and then the limes. And it is perfect for these. Normally, if they're going to have anything, they have a margarita. And I think these are margaritas, but they're not the green ones. And so, but they're in that funny, I don't know what they are. But they were having them, whatever they are, and this is how I'm scrapping it. So that's just how it is. So I'm going to put my picture about there. So I need this embellishment right over here. And then I want to tuck my title in under here so that it's kind of all together. That's kind of my vision for that. So let's get the picture down, and then we'll work with the other. And I am just going to do a little bit of glue in the middle to hold it, and then I'll go back and glue it down, because I am going to be tucking some things here and there, so I need to keep it where I can tuck. Terry Rice is probably just spinning because I'm not using my invisible ruler to line this up, but you know what? It'd be all right. It'd be all right. All right, so we need to get this down, and that works pretty good coming out from under there. So I am going to I'm just going to do this part of it right now. This I made a long time ago for a green swap, I guess, something, made it a long time ago. So I pulled it out of my binder, and then I want to tuck that salty, that little title, right up under there. And that's why I used this paper to back my pictures, because it had the turquoise and the green, and so it kind of pulled it all together. So let's get our title. And I love this embellishment that Andrea made. It's perfect for this. So let's get that right up there. And I was cutting this and it slipped and it cut like that. I thought, you know what? I'm just going with it. I'm just going with it. There's nothing I can do about it. So then I kind of had put together this for a little cluster, and I think it'll fit under here. And I don't know where this came from. I don't know if it's something I had done and stuck in there. I don't know. I'm not sure. Now, on these flowers, I like to curl them just a little. And even when you put them, I got green ink on me. Even when you put them in the in your binders, it still gives them a little more personality, a little more dimension when they're curled like that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to keep layering. And these are all of my flower punches. You have seen me use them over and over and over. I'll show you. For today, I used the little bitty one, and the next to the little bitty one, and the next to that one, and this one, and then this one is the big one, and I don't even have it out because these came out of my my green drawer. I didn't punch these today. They came out of my green drawer. So I think that's what I want to do, and I'm going to put some leaves. I've got about three different colors of green that I'm working with, and I think that's kind of what I want that cluster to look like. So I better make sure I'm in frame before. Oh yeah, okay. And I apologize for the lighting. I think I have found the light that I'm going to purchase. I borrowed my daughter's and kind of tried it out, one that she has, and I think that is the one that I'm going to purchase. I am so ready to get some decent lighting. Ever since my other light went out, which has been a while, I have not had decent lighting. And thank you for sticking with me, even though the lighting's terrible. Okay. So I don't know where these came from. I think maybe I made them for something else, but I don't remember what. And a lot of times I put some foam and give these a little more dimension, but I think today I am not. I've got foam on my little margarita, but I'm not going to put a bunch of dimension on this. So I just don't have room in my books. Get those leaves on there. So while I'm just kind of gluing some of this down, I want to go ahead and do the twist. The twist today comes from Mark 1:35. And it says, "Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed." Oh, what a lesson. What a lesson in prayer. Of course, Jesus is our example for everything, just for living, period. But what an example for prayer. First, there are two things I want to kind of point out with this. First, he started his day with prayer. And if Jesus needed to start his day with prayer, how much more do we need to start our day with prayer? I mean, sometimes I don't. I try to every day, but sometimes I don't. And then as the day wears on and I mess up, I'm asking the Lord to bless my mess and to straighten my mess out instead of to give me wisdom and to give me guidance and to help me be what I need to be during the day. And believe you me, there is a difference between praying the prayer of bless my mess and praying the prayer of Lord, give me wisdom and guidance and help me through this day. So we need to start every day. I need to start every day with that prayer for wisdom and guidance. And then secondly, it says he went off to a solitary place to pray. And I think that's really important too. Now, our solitary place may look different. You know, everybody's solitary place may look different. I don't know, this is probably not a good habit, but I pray in the mornings while I'm still in bed. I live alone, so other than my little puppy dog that's snuggling with me, there's nothing disturbing me. And so I probably should have a different posture when I pray, at least sitting up at the table or something, but I'm being honest, that's what I do. But I do pray nearly every morning to start my day. And I have my prayer list of things and then, you know, odds and ends that are added to it each day. And I don't pray real early. I don't get up before dawn like Jesus did and pray, but I'm retired. And so I don't have to do that because I can kind of run my day the way I want to. So I'm very blessed with that. But we need to get alone with God. We need to give him our undivided attention and to focus on our prayer and not let it just be something that's rote or something that is, you know, haphazard and not really. I mean, think about how you feel when your husband or your kids are not paying attention to you and you're talking to them and they're not paying any attention to you, and you go and then you can throw in something that's totally, you know, off the wall and they don't even know it. I don't think God wants us to talk to him like that. He wants us to focus on him and to focus on our prayer and to be all in on that prayer. And so the two things that I got out of this, one, start every day in prayer. And number two, focus on God. Make it a priority to get alone with God and to focus your prayer time. That's what I got out of this. Okay, so this is kind of, I think, where I'm going to go with this little cluster down here with my little margarita glass. So I've got the flower down, so let's this is just a piece of I had this in my green drawer. It's just a piece of a greenery that I had cut before. And so I pulled it out of my green drawer and get it stuck in under there. Whoops, kind of smeared that glue. And then see where I want all of this. I want it kind of overlapping and underlapping and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. I really got that in a little snug. Don't know if I can get it off. I may have to add a piece to it. See if I can get that loose. I don't think so at this point. Maybe. Oh, yeah. So because it needs to be coming out from behind that lime a little more. Maybe more like that. I've got a little bit of foam on my glass. See where I want my lime. Maybe something kind of like that. So let's get our leaves back down. I appreciate Mel letting us do something that we love. That's, you know, I did want to do a little tribute to her just with a little bit of mixed media because she loves mixed media so much. And she's gotten so good at it that I wanted to throw in a little something that really reminded me of her. And if I can remember, and if I can figure out how to do it, I will link her her channel below, because like I said, if you're not watching her, you are missing a joy. There are several that I watch almost daily, and let me tell you, she puts out a lot of content. You know, me on the other hand, I don't. Life gets in the way, and I just can't put out a ton of content. But that girl puts out a ton of content. She does something, and sometimes more than one thing, every day. It's amazing. I just have so much respect for these girls that do that. She and Terry Rice and Ginger and a bunch of them who just put out content every day is amazing, because I just can't. I still have to do life, and I just can't do it. I've got a little bit of extra stuff here, and I feel like I need to bring this green. Maybe, I don't know, we'll look at that. I thought about doing something up here. There's my 3 main clusters, but I just kind of thought I might do, let's try this, see what this looks like. This is all I've got, so this is it, it's either this or nothing. I have a petal that's not complete on that, so let's see if we think we can. This is it. That might work. I think that'll work. I've got these little music notes that I'd thought about putting, but since I put the mixed media back there, I don't even think I want to do that. But I do think I want to, no, I do think I want some of this coming up here. I don't know how exactly, but maybe something like that. And you will love to hear her talk. There's 2 or 3 of the girls from Australia, and one from I guess England that I watch, and I love to hear them talk. Of course, I have this Texas drawl, and so, you know, I'm that, to just talk like they talk is just awesome to me, because I talk so yucky. And I actually try. You know, I'm a professor, and I really try to not just be too hick. I don't know for what a better term, you know, because Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, those of us from the Deep South, the Carolinas, those of us from the Deep South, we just have such a drawl, and it can be kind of sappy. But I really try not to be too bad. But sometimes I catch myself and I'm just thinking, oh, that's so ugly. So ugly. I think that still needs a little middle. See if I have it. Yeah, here's one. I have another little middle. I've got to do another one of these. It won't be exactly like this, but it'll be very similar for my daughter-in-law for her scrapbook. So, okay. There is that. Now, to finish off, I'm going to add a little more mixed media. Get some of my trash out of the way here. I'm going to add just a little bit more mixed media. In honor of Mel, I have some Nuvo drops, and she loves to use Nuvo drops. And these are Woodland Green. And I think I have this one also that is, it's Crystal Drops in green, but I think we're going to use this Woodland Green. And just do a little, whoa, come back here. She likes to do the 3. I usually kind of space them out a little different than she does, but it's all good. Kind of. I've got some some smears there, so I'm just going to cover it with let's see, where do we want any? Up here. Let's do, I need to hold these straight up so they don't, let's see, where else could we put? Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that. So, Mel, congratulations on your 1,000 subscribers. You absolutely deserve it. You are awesome, and thank you for what you contribute and what you do for our community. So, this is my 1,000 subscriber hop for Mel, and check her out. Thanks for dropping by, and have a blessed day, and be a blessing to someone else.